Ladies and gentlemen, exploration for potential seabed mineral resources started way back in the early 1970s. Renewal of interest in deep-sea minerals is driven by a substantial increase in commodity prices due to forecasts of increased future resource demands. Factors include population growth, the rapidly expanding economies of countries with large populations, and the development of low-carbon footprint technologies, such as wind turbines, photovoltaic cells, and batteries for electric cars as a consequence of increasing climate variability and climate change. These new technologies require a wider range of major, minor, and trace metals, which are considered economically strategic for today's and future demand. Seabed minerals were identified early, and technological concepts for exploration and potential exploitation did not change too much from the artist's view from the late 1970s on seafloor mining. However, the available technologies changed a lot in the last 40 years, and especially digitization, artificial intelligence, sensor-based actions, monitoring-guided mineral recovery, and low-footprint technologies in land mining, but also in the oil and gas industry, all adapted in technological concepts for seabed mining, addresses environmental and seabed management concerns. This talk summarizes the exploration activities by ISA's contractors and describes the required technologies, the database definition of a mineable ore deposit, the different approaches for the three different seabed mineral types, and potential technological synergies. The 1982 United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea establishes the international legal regime within which all the activities in the oceans and seas must be undertaken. The Convention and the 1994 agreement relating to the implementation of Part 11 of the Convention provide the international legal framework for activities in the area, including by entrusting the International Seabed Authority with the role of organizing and controlling activities in the area, in particular for administering the activities relating to resources in the area of the seabed and ocean floor and the subsoil thereof beyond the limits of natural jurisdiction, which is defined as the area. As we heard before, the key marine mineral resources of the area include polymetallic methyl sulfides, polymetallic nodules, and cobalt-rich ferromanganese crusts. Other potential future resources, including marine gas hydrates, marine metalliferous sediments, marine places, marine evaporites, and marine phosphorite deposits, are predominantly found within the continental shelf environments. ISA has entered into currently 31 contracts with 22 contractors for exploration for polymetallic nodules, polymetallic sulfides, and cobalt-rich ferromanganese crusts in the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. 19 of these contracts are for exploration for polymetallic nodules in the Claring-Clipperton Zone, the Central Indian Ocean Basin, and the Western Pacific Ocean. There are 7 contracts for exploration for polymetallic sulfides along the 3 Indian spreading ridges and the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and 5 contracts for exploration for cobalt-rich crusts in the Western Pacific Ocean. The area between the Clarion and Clipperton Oceanic Fracture Zones, the CZZ, is the focus of most and also first licensed contract with ISA. An area of 75,000 square kilometers allows for exploration and resource assessment over a period of 15 years, with the opportunity for 5 years extensions. Pre-explored areas are reserved for developing countries. 9 areas of particular environmental interest protect particular ecological subregions and about 30% of the entire CZZ for ecosystem-based management. Natural geological characteristics like seamounts, slopes, and nodule distribution limit the actual prospective area to about 30% within each contract area. The exploration requires the definition of potential ore deposits and their assessment for future exploitation. As an example, the model area in red provides an average PMN coverage of 7 to 10 kg per square meter and 3 defined deposits with sizes of 1,000, 1,200, and 2,000 square kilometers. The combined deposit carries a total of 56 million tons of polymetallic manganese nodules and 4,200 square kilometers, representing only 5.6% of the total license area, and allows for 14 years of mining at a production of 4 million tons a year. The resulting metals, that are copper, cobalt, nickel, manganese, and other traces, already have a significant impact on the metal markets. As seen, polymetallic massive sulfur mineralization occurs along mid-ocean ridges. Currently, 7 license contracts exist in the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, all with a size of 10,000 square kilometers. Relinquishment is required after 8 and 10 years, leaving 2,500 square kilometers for the last 5 years of exploration, assessment, and test mining activities on the most prospective deposits. Polymetallic massive sulfur deposits have a diameter of up to 300 meters on the seabed and are identified as 3-dimensional conical funnel shape. They usually narrow towards the base. The deeper portions of the deposits are considered high temperature during formation and therefore copper and gold rich, as can be seen as the fossil equivalents on land. Potential mining down to 250 meters may account for tens of millions tons of base metal and precious metal sulfide ores. The spatial footprint on the seabed is minor. Based on geological evidences, the metal endowment, localization, size, shape, and tonnage of polymetallic massive sulfide occurrences must be assessed by remote high-resolution techniques including robotic, AUV, ROV technologies, and electromagnetic measurements on the seabed. Any mining of polymetallic massive sulfides from seafloor subsurface necessarily will involve mining activities towards depth. As a consequence, and similar to land-based deposits, an open-pit mining strategy was adopted by Nautilus for its Solvara deposit in Papua New Guinea. Mining machines, including continuous miner, bulk cutter, collecting machine, and lift pumps were developed. Japanese JOGMEC performed the world's first ore lifting pilot test for polymetallic sulfides in August-September 2017 at a water depth of about 1,600 meters within the Okinawa Trough. JOGMEC's concept was similar to that of Nautilus, but it was carried out as a multi-ship operation. A different concept are vertical concepts which adopt trench cutter operations that are in use for marine diamond exploitation. Available techniques can possibly accommodate the particular shape of narrow 3-dimensional and conical geological bodies better than the traditional open-pit mining approach developed for land-based deposits. Cobalt-rich ferromanganese crust forms centimeter-thick crust on the hard rock substrate on the summits of seamounts, ridges, plateaus, and abyssal hills, either attached to the top and flanks of the bedrock or as broken pieces on the seabed. They commonly form in areas where volcanic rocks have been swept clean of sediments by bottom currents at water depth between 400 and 4,000 meters, with high thickness in between 500 and 1,500 meters, which mostly encompass the zone of lower oxygen concentrations. Currently, 5 license contracts exist in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, all with a size of 3,000 square kilometers. Relinquishment is required after 8 and 10 years of exploration, leaving 1,000 square kilometers for the last 5 years of exploration, assessment, and test mining activities on the most prospective deposits. Ore deposit assessment requires the measurements of crust thickness, and abrasive milling technologies are needed for separation. The occurrence on steeper walls of seamounts complicates the use of crawler technologies, and the combination with vertical to laterally drilling techniques may allow for well-defined recovery of the crust. Artificial intelligence and sensor-based mineral recovery have the potential to avoid critical habitats, as they identify it and avoid natural morphological irregularities disrupting the mining process. The distribution of minerals and the ore deposits they form are quite different. Cobalt-rich ferromanganese crust and polymetallic massive sulfides form local, 3-dimensional deposits at the 100 to 1,000 meter scale, whereas polymetallic manganese nodules deposits may occupy thousands of square kilometers. The definition of mineable and technological and and economically feasible deposits requires very detailed area knowledge. Mineral resources need to occur in such form, grade, quality, quantity that there are reasonable prospects for eventual economic extraction. Their characteristics are measured with confidence to support detailed mine planning, and proven mineral reserves require appropriate mining technology, infrastructure, legal, economic, environmental, and other factors. The definition of deposits and mine planning requires area knowledge at the meter level through high-resolution multi-beam echosounder measurements, not at least for a safe operation during recovery, but also for the mandatory precautionary approach. Thank you very much for your attention.